Heading into the 2023 season, I decided to predict the most potent bats in the Blue Jays lineup, but not in the boring old, this is how many home runs he's going to hit, and oh, this will be his batting average. No, I will be giving my honest opinions of what I believe to be the optimistic, realistic, and pessimistic stat lines that the Blue Jays players will get. And I've also gone in on a further mile to find historical comparisons for each prediction to show a range of stat lines that I can see possible for all the players. And in this video, we will be focusing on Daulton Varsho. My optimistic prediction is Miguel Tejada's 2001 season. During that season, Tejada mashed 31 home runs, had a .267 average, an OBP of .326, and a slugging of .476 for an OPS of .801 and an O-WAR of 4.2. As we all know, the right center field wall at the Rogers Center will be moving in from 375 feet to 359 feet and being raised from 10 feet to 14 feet 4 inches. Yes, the wall is getting raised a significant amount, but with these changes, all I can see is a benefit to Varsho. If we take a look at where Varsho hit the majority of his home runs last season, you can see just how well he can benefit with these new changes, which leads me to believe 30 home runs should not be far out of the question. Also, given his speed and where he will be hitting in the Blue Jays lineup, Varsho could become only the third player in MLB history to be a primary catcher that is a 30-homer, 100 RBI, and 15 steal season, joining only Carlton Fisk in 1985 and Pudge Rodriguez in 1999. Yes, that means you'd have to play around 30 games at catcher to be classified as this, but with his versatility, it shouldn't be far out of reach. Moving on to the realistic prediction, the GOAT, Juan Uribe, and his 2010 season. Uribe had 24 home runs to go along with a .248 average, a .310 OBP, and a .440 slugging, good for a .750 OPS and an O-WAR of 1.9. Something I found interesting earlier in the offseason were the many reports stating that the Yankees were interested in bringing in Varsho just like the Blue Jays. And it makes complete sense with the Yankees' short right field porch, and when you see Varsho's hit chart, you can see exactly where his home runs are, right center field. When the Jays first made this move, I was a little bit surprised by the package we gave up, of course, where we gave up Gabriel Moreno and Lourdes, who is a fan favorite, but as we continue into the offseason, I just see more and more of why this trade makes sense. And after the recent reveal of the new dimensions in Rogers Center, it makes complete sense. They're building another Yankee Stadium, which will benefit the likes of Varsho, Belt, and Kiermaier massively. I mean, maybe we can even see 10 to 15 home runs from Kiermaier this season too. So while a stat line similar to Juan Uribe's 2010 season may seem like a realistic outcome given Varsho's career averages, I think this 2023 season for Varsho may be his big breakout. And yes, I know last year was a huge step up from his 2021, but I think we could be in line for yet another giant leap in 2023. And finally, my pessimistic prediction, which is Brian McCann's 2012 season, where he hit 20 home runs, had an average of .230, an OBP of .300, and a slugging of .399 for an OPS of .699 and an O-WAR of .8. Personally, I can't see this happening at all. Yes, that's what pessimism is for. The direct definition is the belief that anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and even though this stat line Brian McCann posted is what I believe to be the worst possible season Varsho could have, I just can't see this man not take a giant leap forward again this year, especially with the ban on the shift. I think most batters will be able to raise their averages a considerable amount, and especially lefty batters. I could see it being roughly 10 to 15 points for each batter, and for lefty pull hitters like Varsho, it could be even more. It could be 20, 25 points. If there's anyone to stand from the shift being banned, it's him. In 2020, Varsho had a BABIP of .246, in 2021 he had a .286, and this past season he had a .269. These figures are all well below the average of 300. This is mainly in part due to the crazy amount of shifts Varsho had to go through. Out of his 591 plate appearances, he was shifted 285 times, which means 48.2% of the time he was facing a defensive lineman with pretty much everyone on the right side of second base. And with a 50.9% pull rate, which was the highest among qualified batters in 2022 by the way, it's no wonder why his BABIP has been so low. As mentioned many times throughout the video, with the shift gone, there's all the more reason to be excited about Varsho in a Blue Jays uniform in 2023. Okay, and that is it for this video. If you were able to make it all the way to the end, thank you so much. This is just part 4 of an 8-part series where I'll be giving outlooks on the more prominent bats in the Blue Jays lineup. If you are interested in seeing the rest of this series along with all of my future content, please consider subscribing. It would help me out a lot. I'm a small creator, but I have a lot of love for the game of baseball, and I enjoy making videos like these so I can interact with other like-minded people. I want to build a baseball-loving community here, and I hope you'll stick around for the long run of this channel.